Is there a point in there where you stop just saying process and growth?
The point is at some point you say this is enough, and we don't know how we get into these situations, but it will change.
What was it in the third? I mean, Hassan went out, and you went to the. It seemed like a regular rotation, and just everything stopped all at once.
Yeah, sometimes
every element.
Sometimes it just goes quick with us. Timeouts, rotations, can't change it or stop it. We were defending and playing with incredible toughness in the first half, and it started out with the beginning of the third quarter with turnovers and missed shots to easy baskets the other way, and that just kind of allowed them to hang around and get some rhythm, the layups and clean looks, and then from there we just couldn't get the ball in the basket, and they kept on scoring.
By the time you blinked, it went from tied after 3 to a 12-point lead. Was there any opportunity in there to even think about putting Hassan back, or did it happen too quickly?
Yeah, it happened quickly. I should have. Looking back on it, he needed to come out at the end of the third. They went small at the end of the fourth. End of the third, beginning of the fourth, to really spread the court, space us out. So we put Rio and CB back in there. That should have been enough, but it wasn't.
Ennis and Johnson played a lot more than usual, and there were points there where they contributed some positive things.
No question about it. They both competed their tails off. They left it all out there, defending, being two-way players, competing, loose balls. You could see those extra possessions. Both those guys were. That's just pure competitive spirit. You like seeing that. And right now we're obviously a team with all hands on deck. Everybody has to be ready until we get whole.
To that, Norris, Sean, Danny, 2 for 22 tonight. None of them have really been in a great rhythm lately to begin with. How worried are you about the trip without Dwayne? Maybe without Lou for a little bit longer. You're not whole. Coming off something like this, I mean, just how daunting does Sunday look all of a sudden?
Oh, I think it looks promising. I wish we could play that game tomorrow. I wish we could fly up there and play tomorrow night. And let's lace them up and get back after it. I think that would be the best thing for us, is get right back to competition and not dwell on this. There was obviously some great things that were happening in the first half. We need to continue to compete and get our breakthrough with that. And the way I look at it with those guys shooting, and there's a lot of open looks, is they're due.
There could be an inference based on the ankle injury that Hassan's on a minutes limit. Is that the case, or was it just you were trying to stop the bleeding without having to bring him back in sooner than you normally do?
No, there's not a minutes limit. I had to take him out for fatigue in the third quarter, and then it just went like that.
Speaking of Whiteside, big matchup against Tyson Chandler. How did you grade his performance against him?
Look, Hassan gave us great minutes. He was tremendous on the glass, really plugging up the paint. So I didn't look at it as a one-on-one matchup, but it's hard not to notice the rebounding, the two-handed rebounds in traffic, right from the beginning of the tip.
Were guys out? I mean, you don't see a guy get 13 rebounds in the first 3 minutes of a game or whatever absurdity it was. Did guys get too caught up in that at all, do you think? I mean, were guys even aware of it? Do you think it could be one of the things they just got too caught up in the second half?
No, I don't think that had to do with the turnovers, lack of execution, not getting back, that kind of thing. I don't know if the guys knew or not, but it was hard not to notice that every time they missed that he was grabbing the rebound.
What is the outlook on Deng going forward?
He did a little bit more today. He's going to travel with us. I think it's too early to say right now.
You scored 30 points in the second, but only 42 in the other quarters. What worked in the second that you weren't able to recreate offensively? In the
Well,
other?
they stepped up their defense. You do have to credit them for that. They flattened us out. We weren't able to get into our actions quite as easily. We started off the half with either turnovers, deflections that flattened us out. And we anticipated in this game that this probably wouldn't be a game where we're winning by outscoring them. We'd have to keep this game down, not in the 70s. We'd have to score somewhere in the 80s to give ourselves the best chance to win. And for the most part, we were playing that kind of basketball in the first half, and then second half they dominated and played their style.